Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, April 11th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Thank you for joining us. Well, Prince George's leads Maryland in the amount of waste material it diverts from landfills and sends to recycling plants. The county today announced its new zero waste plan aimed at diverting even more trash from the garbage heap. Byron Scott has the story.
And we are joined by Adam Ortiz with the Department of the Environment here in Prince George's County, talking about really a quality of health issue, the county's zero waste plan. Thank you, first of all, for joining us this morning. Talk about what this plan is.
Well, the plan is to try to keep as much material as possible out of the landfill and put it into reuse or recycling. There's a lot of value in the stuff that people put out at the curb every week, and we don't want that just getting thrown away. If it comes here to the recycling facility, we can bundle it and we can sell it like we see here. And if it's organic material, we can also compost it and put it back into the soil in a healthy way. So this saves us money, but also helps save the environment.
But it's also very significant because the county is leading the state in one area. Talk about that a little bit.
So for the third year in a row, Prince George's County is #1 in waste diversion and recycling. About 2/3 of everything that we're putting at the curb is getting recycled or reused in some way, and that's fantastic. So we're doing well, but we can do even better.
I noticed there's a lot of, it looks like trash just behind you there. Talk about the significance of that and what that is.
This is not trash at all. Okay. This is a valuable commodity that we see behind us. We have rigid plastics, which we can sell for a few hundred bucks per ton. These are regular plastics, your plastic bottles and whatnot, which also have value. And this is the most valuable one at all, aluminum cans. Aluminum cans, we get more than $1,000 per ton when we sell it. And these cans actually will be sold and shipped to Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
So this isn't so much trash as it is cash.
This is cash, not trash.
Talk about, we're going to take a tour a little later on. What are we going to see in the facility and why is that important?
So you're going to see a complex operation. You're going to see a few dozen people working really hard to pull material off the conveyor belt, the material that has value. And you're going to see Prince George's County saving money.
And talk about why residents ought to be concerned about this. It's not a small issue. I mentioned earlier that it was a quality of life issue. You talk about how it's also a revenue generating process as well, but talk about why residents ought to care about this.
Well, because this is great in every possible way. Number one, it keeps us from losing money and keeps preserving value here in the county. So we're able to help our budget in Prince George's County. We're able to help our environment. So we're not generating more manufacturing to create this material. We're able to use it cheaply. And most importantly, we're being fully responsible for what we generate here in the county. And that's important because everything is interconnected.
Okay, Adam Ortiz, thank you very much. That is the latest. Back to you in the studio.
And to learn more about the plan, you can log on to princegeorgescountymd.gov and put zero waste into the search box.
A protest planned this evening just before a scheduled hearing regarding the renewal of a liquor store license in Largo.
And the local NAACP is supporting the coalition leading the protest. Wanda McDonald is the chair of the organization's health committee, and she's joining us now to discuss why the group is protesting. So why don't you start off a little bit and tell us about the coalition itself?
Well, the coalition is comprised of members of the NAACP, Change Prince George's, and a group of concerned citizens.
And this stems from an issue that happened last year, I believe it is, where a young man went into the store and you basically believe, in a nutshell, that he was roughed up, that he wasn't treated right.
Yes, the young man went into the store to make a purchase, and he encountered a situation where he witnessed an elderly woman being disrespected. The clerk was very disrespectful to her, and he inquired about her well-being, asked if she was okay, and she said, yeah, I'm okay. And then he said to the clerk, you don't have to do that, or something to that effect. And then the exchange became escalated. From there, the young man offered his money and it was refused, and his purchase was taken back, and he became angry. He's a young man, so he hasn't maybe learned to counter those feelings just yet, and he knocked over a display of Slim Jims, and at that point he was assaulted and detained inside of the store. The doors were locked and he was handcuffed with the owner's own handcuffs.
Now, I understand that was caught on video as well, or a portion of it?
Yes, the entire incident was caught on video.
Okay. You and others in the coalition are now calling for that liquor store to be shut down. Tell us why.
Well, we feel like the store does not operate in a way that is safe for the community. Since we have launched this initiative, we've received hundreds of statements from people in the community and other patrons who have shopped there and who have had similar experiences. And so also we've become privy to the fact that the owner in the store, they have guns and other weapons in the store. And so we're concerned that as incidents escalate, there have been incidents in the news recently of patrons being gunned down after stealing merchandise. And so we're afraid that this could escalate into something that's much more serious than an assault. And we don't want that to happen in our community.
Now, this liquor store serves largely African American community. What are the chances of maybe approaching them or getting some sort of training so that they can understand to be culturally sensitive to people of color?
Well, we have approached them regarding the situation, and the response wasn't in favor of a resolution, which is why we're here. This operation has been in Prince George's County for decades. Before Largo Liquors, I believe he owned or managed another liquor store in the area. So they are very familiar with the African American community. Now, whether they have taken diversity training or some type of conflict resolution training, I don't know. But that is something that we are prepared to ask them to do if our efforts today aren't favorable.
All right, so the public hearing is tonight at 7. You're holding a protest press conference just prior to that.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you expect with the testimony and exhibits there.
Well, as I mentioned before, we have statements from several people. When we launched the petition, we received 6,000 signatures, but also people expressed in the petition the way they had been treated at the store. And so we actually started an email address for them to send their concerns in. And so we're going to present some of those statements, just the ones that have happened within the year that the incident that sparked the protest happened. And we're going to present those things. We're going to present the video, and we also have actual people who have been victims, so to speak, of the treatment at the liquor store. They're going to speak on their own behalves as well.
All right, Ms. McDonald, thank you so much
Keep
for
us
joining
posted.
us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And again, that protest will begin tonight at 6:30 at the Board of License Commissioners located at 9200 Basil Court in Largo. The hearing begins at 7. Well, Metro Transit Police and advocacy groups will conduct outreach events at several Metro stations today. The event will provide information on how to report incidents of sexual harassment. It's part of a multi-tiered approach that includes tools for reporting incidents, high-tech cameras, and policing tactics to make arrests. Many county residents say it's a good idea.
The awareness that people have the right to their body. People have the right to say something when it's they don't feel comfortable, and also with the awareness, people have more information, who to contact, where to go to if they need help.
As you can see in the media and in the news, a lot of women are coming forward, as well as men, with regard to sexual harassment in entertainment, at work, etc. So there's a platform for people to speak up right now, and it's the best time.
Nowadays, there's a lot of things going on in society, and the norms have changed, and people need to be aware that certain things aren't acceptable, especially on the metro. I've seen things go on with women and men, and it's very important, especially with the Me Too movement going on.
Metro Police and volunteers will be at Metro Center, L'Enfant Plaza, Silver Spring, Largo Town Center, and Ballston from 4:30 to 6:30 tonight.
A 33-year-old College Park historian is sentenced to a year behind bars for stealing government records from the National Archives. Antonin DeHaze's crimes go back to 2012. Investigators say he stole hundreds of military dog tags from both world wars. He also lifted personal letters, photographs, and documents related to the invasion of Normandy. Much of the stuff was sold on the internet, online. The judge ordered DeHaze to spend another 8 months on home detention after his prison term. He was also ordered to pay $44,000 in restitution.
A Prince George's police officer is charged with resisting arrest in Miami Beach. It happened in the 900 block of Ocean Drive early on Monday morning. Charles Williams was taken into custody after trying to interfere with the arrest of several people involved in a fight. Williams worked for the police department for nearly 3 years and is assigned to the Bureau of Patrol. He's been suspended with pay.